All right, if you're an athlete, a coach, or really anyone who wants to get better at something, you know setting goals is a big deal. But here's a thought. What if the goals you're setting are actually the very thing holding you back? Today, we're going to dive into a framework that turns those fuzzy ambitions into actual concrete wins.
You ever have that feeling, you're putting in all the work, the long hours, the sweat, everything, but you're just not seeing the results you were hoping for? It's so frustrating. But you know what? A lot of the time, the problem isn't your effort, it's the goal itself.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why we should even bother with goals. Then we'll break down the awesome SMART goal framework. We'll see how to go from a vague idea to a real victory, look at some good and bad examples, and then we'll put what you've learned to the test.
Okay, first things first. Why even bother with setting goals? Isn't saying I'll just do my best good enough? Well, not really. Not if you're serious about getting better.
Think of proper goal setting as this high-performance engine for your ambition. It seriously cranks up your motivation because you have something clear to shoot for. It lets you actually monitor your progress so you can see what's working and what's not. It keeps you laser-focused, helps you plan out your training, and let's be real, nothing beats that feel-good factor when you actually hit a target you set for yourself. That's what keeps you going.
So, the big question is, how do we build these amazing, powerful goals? Well, there's this simple, but honestly brilliant tool that top athletes and coaches use all the time. It's called the SMART Goal Framework.
SMART is just an acronym that stands for 5 key things: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Every single one of these is like a checkpoint to make sure your goal is solid and set up for success. Let's dig into each one.
First up, S is for specific. A vague goal like, I want to get better at football, well, that's pretty much useless. A specific goal, though, hones in on exactly what you need to do. So instead of just get better, you focus on something like improving the percentage of successful passes. See, now that's a clear target.
Next, M is for measurable. You've probably heard this before. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. You absolutely need some hard data, whether it's time, distance, or just numbers, to know if you've actually done it. Saying you want to improve your running is one thing, but aiming to improve your 12-minute Cooper run score by 150 meters, that's crystal clear. You either hit that number or you don't. No gray area.
Then there's A for achievable. This one's all about finding the sweet spot. A goal needs to push you, for sure, but it can't be so ridiculously impossible that it just makes you want to give up. It has to be something you can actually reach. Oh, and some coaches also use A for accepted, which means both the athlete and the coach agree on the goal. That creates this awesome shared commitment.
After that, we have R for realistic. Now, this sounds a lot like achievable, but it's more about your real-life circumstances. So a goal might be achievable in a perfect world, but is it realistic for you right now? Do you actually have the time, the equipment, the support to make it happen? It's a super important reality check.
And last but not least, T is for time-bound. A goal without a deadline, it's really just a dream. By setting a time frame, like saying you'll do it in 6 weeks, you create a sense of urgency. It lights a fire under you and stops you from putting it off forever.
Okay, so we've looked at all the individual pieces. Now let's see where the real magic happens, when you put them all together.
Just look at this transformation. On one side you have, I want to improve my speed. That's not a goal, that's just a wish. But look at the SMART goal, to take 0.2 seconds off my 100-meter sprint time within 4 months, as agreed with my coach. Now that is a plan. It's specific, it's measurable, it's time-bound, and because it's agreed upon, it's definitely achievable and realistic. That right there is a roadmap to victory.
All right, you've got the theory down. Now it's time to put it into practice. Let's look at a few scenarios and see if you can spot a good goal from a not-so-good one.
Okay, let's break these down. A total beginner at a park run aiming for a 25-minute 5K? Probably not a good idea. That's likely unrealistic and could be super demotivating. Now, how about an elite swimmer who wants to win the 100-meter backstroke? Yes, absolutely. That's what we call an outcome goal. It's all about the final result. But what about a beginner runner who just wants to complete a 10-kilometer race? That's perfect. This is a performance goal. It's focused on their own effort and just finishing, not about winning. It's achievable and a huge confidence booster.
You're getting the hang of this. So, for our final section, let's tackle something a little different. An actual exam question, to really cement your understanding of the SMART framework.
Okay, here it is. The goal is, I keep dropping the ball in netball, so I want to improve my coordination in the next month. Take a quick second. Based on what we've talked about, can you spot one strength and one weakness here?
So, did you get it? The strength is definitely that it's time-bound. That in the next month part gives it a deadline, which is great. But the big weakness? It's not measurable. How in the world do you measure improving coordination? You can't. A way better goal would be something like to successfully catch 9 out of 10 passes during practice drills by the end of the month. Now that's a goal you can actually track.
When it comes right down to it, achieving those big, ambitious goals isn't about some single giant leap. It's about taking a series of small, intelligent, and really well-planned steps. That whole climb to success, it really does start with one single smart step.
So I want to leave you with this question to chew on. What's one goal you have right now? It could be in sports, at work, in your life, whatever. And more importantly, how can you take what we've talked about and make that goal just a little bit smarter today?